Hi. We're recording. Okay, I don't know why I'm nervous. I would like to welcome you all to the first episode of the Chosen Child podcast. This is so exciting. First of all, I have a new mic. Can you guys hear the ASMR? I refilmed this episode literally 3 times. Some of you guys are listening to this audio on Spotify. Hi. But some of you guys are consuming this episode visually over on my YouTube channel. And I want to say, hey, I'm just trying a few things out. I'm not going to promise any visual references just yet, just because within these next few months, I'm going to be doing a lot of moving around from Italy, going back to Houston for school. I don't even want to make any promises that I am not going to follow through on. But what I can guarantee you is that you guys most definitely will be getting an episode every Monday over on Spotify. So if you are consuming this on my YouTube channel, head over to Spotify, and I have to give an honorable mention for all of the latest updates and be interactive with all of the content that's going on with the Chosen Child podcast. Feel free to go follow us over on Instagram at chsn.chld and on Twitter, Chosen Child Podcast. So, okay. I was a little iffy on refilming this just because it's something that I'm very passionate about. This specific topic, to be exact, I feel like you could feel my rage. Like you could feel you could feel that I have not fully healed from some of the things that I have experienced. I'm glad that I did take the time to sit down and kind of regather my thoughts on my handy dandy notebook, because if I just go based off what's on the dome, I would get so carried away. I would literally sit here and talk for hours. I know some of you guys are very curious by the title, and you guys are so confused as to what script I am talking about. And if you have not read the title because you just clicked by the grace of God because it was me, thank you. The title states you didn't fail. You just simply needed to rewrite the script. When I think of a script, I think of theater. Everyone knows when you're in theater, you have a script. You have a set script you go based off of. Sometimes you can improv, but for the most part, you are destined to go word for word, piece by piece of whatever that script says to get the end result. There's no room for anything unpredictable. You're always going to know what's bound to happen in the end because you're following a script that is set for you. And to compare that to us is just regular civilians. The standard American script, you could say, is for us to go to school, you get good grades, you focus on those good grades so that you can get into a great college, so that you can make good money after college. Once you graduate college, you get your job, you get married, save your money so that you can eventually retire, have kids, and live happily ever after. That is the standard set civilian lifestyle in America. Now, for me personally, I was blessed enough to be in a position to where not only do I have the standard civilian script, but I also have the influencer script. When you think of influencers, you think that, oh yeah, they just do whatever they want and they make money and that's that. Well, there are some other things I think of, but we're not going to talk about that today. The standard is definitely you start out the underdog. You're consistently trying new things so that you can focus on generating your numbers. Doesn't matter if what you're doing is not making you happy. If you post something and it blows, that's what you're consistently doing until you reach whatever milestone it is, whether it's you hitting 1 million, you hitting 100,000, you hitting 50K. That's what you do. Going back to the script, sorry. Got distracted just that fast. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got to stick to the handbook. You're focused on generating your numbers, being consistent. In that timeline, some creators, they decide they want to create a business. It's about a 30 to 70% ratio. About 70% of creators decide they don't want to start a business because they don't want to be a business owner. And then some of them decide they do want to start a business, and congrats to them. And if they don't create a business, they focus on hitting a mill. That's almost every YouTuber's ideal goal, is to do whatever it takes for them to get that million plaque. But what happens when a creator gets burnt out? You notice how nowhere in that timeline did I mention that the creator switches up their content. Nowhere in that category. When influencers burn out along the way, let's say, use my circumstances, 500,000 subscribers is when I pretty much clocked out mentally. A creator has one of two options. They can either keep going, burn themselves out, but still hit those high numbers like they wanted, or take a step back, analyze everything you're doing. Take pieces that you do like and disregard anything that you don't like and rewrite the scripts. And that's the route that I decided to take because I enjoy what I do, but I was never going to be able to stick to the exact script in order to be happy. And let me tell you why. It's no secret to my audience that my end goal in this lifetime was never to be super duper famous on YouTube and have hundreds of millions of thousands of people subscribe to me. And, that's all great. But that was never the end goal. That was never what fulfilled me the most. Because I enjoy creating, but I was no longer happy creating the content that originally pushed my name out there to the media. And that's a scary thing. Especially when you have so many eyes on you that are watching you. Put yourself in my shoes and imagine what it would be like for you to create, have your name pushed by it, come to the realization this content that you once were creating is not something that you really want to do anymore. But because you have so many hundreds of thousands of people living vigorously through you, you feel trapped. You feel like, sorry. I got a text message. I was getting passionate though, so I probably needed that. Just imagine putting your life out for hundreds of thousands of people to consume, and eventually it starts to feel like you can't even live your life the way you want to because the way you're perceived, the way they see it is you have to stick to that script. Call it what you want. Call it selfish. Call it self-centered. You as a person, you have to live for yourself. Going back to that ideal script. For those of you guys who don't know me, you probably don't know that my end goal in this lifetime was never... The end goal was never for me to have hundreds and thousands of millions of subscribers and to be the most famous person on this planet and to be known for this. That was never my end goal. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the platform that I do have. But my end goal in this lifetime is to work in some sort of dental fields, whether it's pediatric, whether it's me dental assisting, whether it's me being an orthodontist, whether that's me, even if, I don't know, maybe one day I wake up and I want to become an oral surgeon, or maybe even working in some sort of science field, whether it's me being a chemist, a biologist, I don't know, I might even go to pharmaceutical school. I don't know. I really don't. But what I do know is that I feel the most happiest when I am in my chemistry class. When I'm interning, those opportunities are what really makes me feel whole. I always say this when I'm talking to my friends, but anytime someone asks me, why teeth? When I think of lash extensions, nails, pedicures, manicures, hair extensions, those are all things that make women temporarily feel good. Imagine having someone come into your dental office and they hate their smile. Let's be honest, when you look at somebody, you're probably looking at their smile. That's one of the first few things that you're looking at. Just imagine you have someone come into your office, they hate their smile. They want you to put some braces on their teeth, give them an Invisalign, do whatever you got to do to make them feel good. They go through the 2 to 3 year process of having braces, retainers, whatever. But moral of the story is by the end of the treatment, they have the most perfect smile to them. Because the idea of perfect really is in the eye of the beholder. But to them, their teeth are so perfect. And if you keep up with your retainers and things like that, those are things that are permanent. Those are things that can make someone's confidence be at an all-time high for the rest of their lives. And I know because I've been there. Before I had braces, girl, I was barely smiling, okay? Any chance I get to flex my teeth, I'm doing it. That's just because my confidence was taken to an all-time high by a procedure that was done, just like getting your lashes done, or just like when you go get your hair done. You get it. So by me having this platform that I have, I was never going to lose sight of my end goal. Once I did my first year of school in Atlanta, and once I became a certified dental assistant and I started working in and out of dental offices, I was stuck in between two different scripts at this point. On the influencer side, it's like, okay, I really care about my numbers. I care about my audience, and my audience is upset with me because I'm not able to give them consistent content like I once was, because I'm focusing on something that I really want to do. But on the other hand, I'm happy. I'm learning new things. I'm finally getting the opportunity to step into the career field that I want to eventually want to progress in. But sadly, I'm not able to create content. Which scripts am I going to stick to? It's like I'm torn in between two, and I don't know what to do at this point. And by the time that I burned myself out, I found myself quitting. And when I tell you, speaking about it, I can only say so much in order for you to get a feel of how I felt in that given moment. But I felt like such a fucking failure, because at that point, I had 500,000 subscribers on a platform, was creating consistent numbers in the triple digits. But here I was complaining because of my mental health, because my privacy was consistently invaded, no longer even being happy creating the content that I was once putting on the platform. And you know what? Here I am complaining about all these things when I have such a huge platform and I am doing so great. There are hundreds of thousands of people that would literally die to be in the position that I was in. But I'm complaining. And no, I'm not going to apologize for those things, because all those reasons are very valid. And the craziest part about that was I couldn't put my hands on why I felt like such a failure. In my eyes, I'm like, okay, like they're just numbers. Like these are just people on the internet that know me, but I don't really know them. But I had to realize the reason why I felt like such a failure was because not only do I have so many eyes watching me, but I knew in the back of my head that I still had a passion for creating, but I was too scared that my audience was not going to be receptive and was not going to give me the same amount of numbers and love when I decided I wanted to shift the gears and do whatever I wanted to do for myself. It's always all in our heads. When we try something, when we don't get the results that we once expected, our ego is crushed. The more time that you spend operating through your ego and not through your spirit, the more unhappy you're going to be in the end. Because not only are you doing things for validation and approval, but you're not satisfying your soul. I deleted all the videos off of my platform and I moved to Houston. Nobody knew but my parents and close friends. And I was working a 9 to 5. Because at the time, I didn't know that I did not have to follow the script. This is my life, and I am able to take itty bits of pieces from whatever it is and combine it into my life. During that time when I took that break, although I was working my 9 to 5, I still found myself creating content here and there, and it was something that was very private and very sacred to myself. All my close friends got the opportunity to receive these links and see things that I was creating from just my own perspective, and I came to the realization I didn't fall out of love with creating content, but I fell out of love with the content that I was creating specifically, which was long lifestyle form content with me displaying almost every day-to-day move that I was doing. And I hate to break it to y'all. Hold on. I hate to break this to y'all, but I'm going to be the one to say it. Y'all know I'm going to say whatever everybody's thinking, okay? And I don't mind taking a little bit of the heat for it. But a lot of your favorite creators are actually very tired. Not only are they tired of creating the content that they create, they're tired of people consistently invading their privacy. They're tired of having to consistently put most of their life out there on the internet. And I mean, I I get it from both points of view. Like, I get that, when you're a creator, you put your life on the internet. So you can't be mad when people have something to say about it. But then again, I see it from the audience perspective, because it's like nobody's holding you hostage. You can switch up your content at any given time, but they're scared. They're simply scared to rewrite the script because, for one, the money. They've probably gotten so adjusted to the amount of income that comes into them monthly, so they possibly might have to downgrade their lifestyle, and they don't want that, and that's okay. Or they're just simply scared. They don't know how their audience is going to receive the content that they actually want to create. And I get it. When I decided that I wanted to continue to create content, but not create content for other people, but create it for myself, to do the things that I want on my own terms, however I want to do it, I knew I was taking a huge leap. Like, I knew that my numbers would change. But I also knew that the script that I was following was no longer making me happy, and it was no longer benefiting me. I am worthy of self-love. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of time to myself. I am worthy of privacy. I am worthy of so much. I do not have to force myself to follow the script in this lifetime to be successful. And one influencer that I always give credit to is Ashley. She is a creator who started off doing makeup and eventually migrated over to doing lifestyle vlogs. And then from there, she decided one day, I want to get in the gym and I'm going to become a fitness influencer, because that's what made her happy. And can you believe that people were dragging her up and down all over Twitter because she decided that she wanted to stop living by the standard script and rewrite the script to do what really made her happy in the end? Even in the societal citizen script, I have yet to follow it. I got good grades in high school, got into 2 colleges effortlessly, went to dental assisting school, got my certifications to become a certified dental assistant, broke into working in a few offices in Atlanta, even in Houston. And then from there, you would expect me to continue to say, oh, I'm going on to finish undergrad. But the last semester that I had, it really beat me up. I decided that I was going to take a break. I was going to take a gap semester. I decided I wanted to travel a little bit, and now I'm due to be going back to school in the fall of 2023. Nowhere in the script does it say you can take a break and go travel to Italy and Lord knows where. Nowhere does it say that. But if you need that break, what's stopping you? Why would you let yourself burn out to the point to where you completely decide you want to give up on your end goal? Whether it's you starting a business, whether it's you going to school, whether it's you wanting to be an influencer, whether it's you wanting to go to law school, anything. We as people, we hit one bump in the road and we feel like it's completely time to shut everything down and completely disregard any idea that we have in mind, knowing that it's something that we're really passionate about. So if you want to be a nurse so bad, that is something that just really makes you feel good on the inside. Not because your parents want you to do that, but if that's something that you genuinely want to do. Let's say you fail your MCAT twice. All of a sudden, since you fail, you decide you're just going to give up on the idea of nursing. Why would you made it that far? You know how far you have to make it to even get to the MCAT? That is a lot of work. Do not give up on whatever goal you have in mind. We as people, we are not perfectionists, and we are not going to get everything right on the first go round. If you fail your MCAT exam today and you decide tomorrow that you don't want to try again and that the idea of nursing is just completely done to you, even though that's something that you've had a passion for Lord knows how many years, rewrite your scripts. You don't have to go 4 years of undergrad, go to nursing school, go to dental school immediately. You don't have to do those things in that exact order. Just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean that that's what's going to work for you. If you want to be a nurse, oh my God, I keep going back to wanting to be a nurse. I have a few friends that are like so dedicated to this right now. If you want to be a nurse and you are feeling burnt out right now, you're feeling beat up, you're feeling like, I don't want to do this anymore, take a break. when you graduate undergrad, go travel, go see the world, go do something until you feel that spark for whatever brings you the most happiness and whatever is going to fulfill you the most. Always remember that it is not a race and that it's a marathon.